Wanru was known for her perfectionism. At school, at home, and even in her hobbies, she always strived for flawlessness. One day, Wanru's class was assigned a group project to create a model of their ideal city. Wanru was paired with Tom and Lucy, two classmates she didn't know well. "Let's meet after school to plan," Wanru suggested, already envisioning a perfect miniature metropolis. At their first meeting, Wanru presented a detailed plan. "We'll use cardboard for buildings, paint them precisely, and add tiny streetlights that actually light up," she explained. Tom and Lucy exchanged glances. "That sounds complicated," Tom said hesitantly. "It has to be perfect," Wanru insisted. For the next 2 weeks, Wanru pushed herself and her partners hard. She stayed up late every night, redoing parts of the model she deemed imperfect. She critiqued Tom's painting and Lucy's landscaping, often redoing their work herself. The night before the presentation, Wanru was still not satisfied. "The buildings aren't straight enough," she muttered, reaching for the cardboard city. Suddenly, her elbow knocked over a cup of water. It spilled across the table, soaking into the cardboard structures and smearing the carefully painted details. Wanru stared in horror. "No, no, no," she cried. "It's ruined. We've failed." Tom and Lucy tried to comfort her, but Wanru was inconsolable. She spent the night trying to salvage the project, refusing sleep or help. The next morning, Wanru arrived at school, exhausted and on the verge of tears. As her group presented their water-damaged model, she braced herself for ridicule. To her surprise, their classmates were impressed. "Cool. It looks like a city after rain," one student remarked. "Yeah, and those warped buildings give it character," another added. Their teacher, Mr. Chun, studied the model closely. "Interesting approach," he said. "The imperfections make it unique and thought-provoking." "Well done." Wanru was stunned. She had thought the project was a disaster, but others saw beauty in its flaws. After class, Mr. Chun asked Wanru to stay behind. "Wanru, I've noticed how hard you push yourself," he said gently. "Perfection isn't always the goal. Sometimes, it's the imperfections that make things special." These words stuck with Wanru. She began to reflect on her perfectionism and how it affected her life and those around her. In fact, Wanru's constant pursuit of perfection had always left her exhausted, anxious, and unhappy. That weekend, Wanru decided to change and try something different. She invited Tom and Lucy over to bake cookies, not for a project, but just for fun. As they mixed ingredients, Wanru felt the familiar urge to measure everything precisely. But when Lucy accidentally spilled too much vanilla extract, Wanru took a deep breath and said, "It's okay. Let's see how it turns out." The cookies came out oddly shaped and a bit too sweet, but as they sat eating them and laughing, Wanru realized she was having more fun than she'd had in years. Encouraged by this experience, Wanru started making small changes in her daily life. 1. In her art class, instead of meticulously planning every brushstroke, she allowed herself to paint freely, embracing unexpected color blends and shapes. 2. During math tests, rather than obsessing over each problem until time ran out, she worked through them at a steady pace, accepting that she might not get every answer perfect. 3. When cleaning her room, she decided that tidy was good enough, rather than spending hours arranging everything to perfection. 4. She started participating more in class discussions, even when she wasn't 100% sure of her answers, and found she often learned more this way. 5. In her dance lessons, instead of getting frustrated when she couldn't master a move immediately, she learned to laugh at her missteps and enjoy the learning process. As weeks passed, Wanru's friends and family noticed a change. Her mother remarked one evening, "Wanru, you seem more relaxed lately. Is everything okay?" Wanru smiled. "Everything's great, Mom. I'm learning that things don't have to be perfect to be wonderful." Her grades remained good, but now she had time for other things too. She joined the school drama club, something she'd always wanted to do, but thought she couldn't commit enough time to do perfectly. In her first play, Wanru forgot a line on stage. Instead of freezing up, she improvised, adding a touch of humor that made the audience laugh. Afterward, the drama teacher praised her quick thinking. "But I messed up," Wanru said, surprised. Yes, and you handled it beautifully, the teacher replied. That's what live theater is all about, embracing the unexpected. As months went by, Wanru found herself smiling more, sleeping better, and enjoying life in a way she never had before. She still studied hard and did her best, but she no longer let the pursuit of perfection control her life. One day, while having ice cream with Tom and Lucy, now close friends, Lucy said, "You know, Wanru, you've really changed since that city project." Wanru nodded, licking a drip of ice cream off her hand, something that would have horrified her former self. "I realized that life is a lot like that model we made. It's the unexpected splashes, the crooked edges, and the imperfect details that make it interesting and beautiful." Tom raised his cone in a toast. "Here's to imperfection, then." As they laughed and enjoyed their melting ice cream, Wanru felt a warmth that had nothing to do with the summer day. She had found something far more valuable than perfection. She had found happiness. Moral: perfection is an illusion that can rob us of joy and growth. True fulfillment comes from embracing life's imperfections, learning from mistakes, and finding beauty in the unexpected. By letting go of the need for everything to be perfect, we open ourselves to richer experiences, deeper relationships, and a more contented way of living. 单字 perfectionism, 完美主义 noun, the wish for everything to be correct or perfect. Flawlessness, 完美无瑕 noun, flawlessness refers to the state of being perfect or without any defects. Pair, 与 配对 verb, to make something one of a pair or to become one of a pair. Envision, 设想 期望 verb, to imagine or expect something to happen, appear, etc. in a particular way. Miniature, 微型的 adjective, used to describe something that is a very small copy of an object. Metropolis, 大城市 noun, a very large city, often the most important city in a large area or country. Critique, 批评 评论 verb, to give an opinion or judgment about a piece or work, book, film, etc. Inconsolable, 伤心欲绝的 adjective, so sad or disappointed that it is impossible for anyone to make you feel better. Salvage, 挽救 verb, to try to make a bad situation better. Brace yourself, 为困难或坏事使防备使做准备 phrase, to prepare yourself physically or mentally for something unpleasant. Warped, 变形的弯曲的 adjective, bent because of damage by heat or water. Meticulously, 小心翼翼的 adverb, in a way that shows great care and attention to detail. Brushstroke, 有指挥化的笔法手法 noun, the way in which something, especially paint, is put onto a surface with a brush. Toast, 乾杯 noun, an expression of good wishes or respect for someone that involves holding up and then drinking from a glass of alcohol, especially wine, after a short speech.